Welcome everyone to the Vim Workshop. So today we're gonna, Okay, so if you want to access the slides are at acmurl.com/vim-slides. And the check-in code is VimGoat, which you can check in at members.acmucsd.com. So we're really excited to have you on board today to learn about this very OP editor called Vim. And so what is Vim, right? And Vim is a highly portable, it's very lightweight, it can really go on any system, it doesn't take up a lot of space on your computer, and it's really efficient. It is so powerful that many people consider it a program as IDE, like super powerful, can do a lot of tasks, help you improve a lot of efficiency. It's a text editor that can be used on any file format and any language. So you can edit your Java file, even your TXT file and MD files. Vim can handle all of these. So why are you going to learn Vim, right? So by learning to use Vim, you can edit your text and code much more efficiently. You can save much time when it comes to production. Efficiency is a key. And you can code on a Linux machine without having to install an IDE. This is actually very important because there was actually one time where I got to a job interview and all that I was provided was a terminal. So I just entered Vim and started editing the code, and learning Vim can potentially help you excel in an interview and who knows, maybe get a job offer. And you can also customize your commands in Vim to fit your personal preferences. So it's highly customizable and it can really fit to anyone's likings. So today we're going to introduce the three main modes of Vim, which is basically the normal mode, the insert mode, and the visual mode. And so I'm going to demonstrate how to enter Vim first. So on terminal, because it's a Unix macOS machine, Vim is already pre-installed. And you can type Vim and enter a file name. In this case, I will cd to Vim Workshop, and I will Vim intro to modes.txt. So this command will basically open intro to modes.txt in the Vim editor. And as you can see right now, this mode that I'm in is normal mode, which is the default mode that Vim starts in. And you cannot really type in here, but you can do a lot of code commands such as scrolling through your files and do some general editing and doing some file commands. And after you enter insert mode, you can see this little insert on the bottom and you can type in it. And then you can enter the visual mode, which will allow you to select a lot of text on the editor. And lastly, you can enter a colon and temporarily enter command mode and save and edit. And so that's enough for the demonstration. We'll go back to the slides. So this is basically a diagram demonstrating how to navigate in between the three modes. And in order to get into insert mode or visual mode, you need to be on normal mode. And to go back to normal mode from either of these modes, you can just simply press escape. Some descriptions over here. Visual mode can help you move sections around more efficiently. So right now, let's delve into normal mode, which is the first mode that you will interact with before entering the insert mode. And in normal mode, you can do a lot of cool tasks, such as navigating through the file really quickly. You can basically navigate to any point in your file with just a few commands, like one command or two. And you can efficiently edit the file in many different ways. You can do some many generic file commands, enter other Vim modes, and do many other cool things. And I will get into them later. So the first thing, you can navigate through a Vim file while you are in the normal mode of Vim. So while you're in a normal mode, you can actually navigate through the file with HJKL instead of the arrow keys. And so HJKL, if you have trouble memorizing these, just kind of draw a snake shake on the arrow keys. So HJKL, but that's kind of snake shaped. That kind of that's what helps me remember which key corresponds to which arrow key. So H is left, J is down, K is up, and L is right. Well, some of you might ask, like, why would I use HJKL when arrow keys are so easy to use and so efficient? Why would I have to spend the extra time just to learn about just to like edit in Vim? Well, this saves your hand from having to move to a different section of the keyboard. So like, you know how you're more normally typing and you have to move your hands to the off to the side to the arrow keys? That is not very efficient. And when it comes to coding, efficiency is everything. So this really saves your hand from moving, saves you from fatigue, and saves a ton of confusion. And you can also use number plus direction to move faster. For example, if you're on line 40 of your currently file and you know you want to go to line 100, you can just simply press 60J to move your cursor down by 60 lines instead of having to, hold the down arrow key for like, who knows, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and before you know it, you miss it. So Vim allows you to do it much more efficiently and precisely. And you can actually not only navigate through a Vim file using the arrow keys and commands, you can actually use a lot of other commands to jump to specific points in your file, such as the beginning of a file, the end of file, which is very useful when you have a lot of lines in your current file. And if you are currently selecting a brace, you can instantly jump to the beginning or the end of the block by pressing %. And then this is very useful because if you have a really long function that you want to skip or you want to go back to the top of the function, this can help you go back instantly. And Ctrl plus F and Ctrl plus B can help you move one full screen up or one full screen down, which is very useful because you can just, after pressing these keys, you will just understand that it's starting you at where you left out last time. And on a smaller scale, you can press 0 to go to the beginning of current line and the current line, and W will navigate you to the next word, which I know is a lot of memorization, but it definitely allows you to scan through your code so much faster because, sometimes when you are scrolling and just pressing keys, you can easily miss a lot of stuff, and you can easily like scroll through functions, and it just provides you with a lot of clarity. And the command, number plus command trick still works here for the GG, some of the commands here. So 20GG will take you to the 20th line of the current file, whereas 5W will navigate you to the 5th word after your current cursor. How it works is that because we know that W stands for the word, so 5W just quantifies the command. It tells you to go to the 5 words after your current cursor instead of 1. So I can show you a little bit of an example about navigating through the files and list. So we will open this new file. Again, we open new files through the command called Vim and do scanning demo. So right now we have this very big and overwhelming file, and it's like how many lines? It's like 274 lines, and scrolling through it can be a very big pain that you don't want to deal with. So what you can do is you can instantly jump to the beginning of the file with GG, and you see the function main, and if you want to go to the end of the function main to see like what's after it, just press $ and to navigate to the open bracket and press the % key, and it instantly takes you 260 lines later to the end of the function, and you can see, oh, after the main function, I have the foo function. And you can also press Ctrl plus F, Ctrl plus B to go up and down. It just like allows you to read through your whole screen so much faster without having to worry about potentially missing stuff and messing up about where you were before you scrolled. And well, just browsing through your code is kind of boring, right? You want to be able to interact with your file and quickly edit your files. And Vim has you covered. So imagine you want to copy and paste or cut a section of the code, and you have to take your hand off your keyboard, move to your mouse, select a chunk, then go back to your keyboard. Before you know it, you don't know where you place your hand, you have a lot of typo, then it's all messed up. But don't you worry, Vim has you covered. So Vim has a few commands to copy, paste, or cut sections of a code without having to use a mouse. So the commands for each of these functions are Y, which stands for yanking, which is basically copying, D, which stands for deleting, but what it really does is cutting. So if you do D and then paste, it will paste the section of the code that you just deleted. And P is just pasting. And you can just press P in Vim without getting into trouble because, well, it's just one command and will just paste under your cursor. But you cannot just enter Y or D because Vim will not know how much code you want to yank or delete. So the syntax to tell the editor how much to yank or delete is right here. It's the number plus action plus scale. The number is very optional over here, so I will focus on the action and scale. So action will be either yank or delete. So Y for yank and D for delete. And scale can really be anything. So if you remember from the previous slides, W stands for word, right? So if you want to delete a word, you can just do DW. If you want to delete till the end of line, you can do $. And if you want to do something about Vim is if your unit here is lines, then all that you have to do is replace the scale with the same letter as the action. So DD will help you delete a line, and YY will help you yank a line, which is copying. And the number comes in when your unit here is scalable. So for example, words or lines. And if you have 2 DW, it tells the editor that you are deleting words, and how many words you're deleting, you are deleting 2 words, while 6YY is copying 6 lines. And you can perfectly get away from not specifying the numbers, but if you do not specify the number will always default to 1. So, okay, now you have been able to scroll through your code really fast, and now you have some basic knowledge about how to edit your code, and you want to exit Vim, but before you know it, you do not know how to exit. Do I close my entire terminal? No, that's only for noobs. Vim is nice. Vim will not kill you. Vim will not kidnap you in here. Vim has a lot of commands that allows you to open, navigate, save, and quit your files, which is really essential to any editor, right? And then you can see on the right some commands such as opening a file in current window, and you can also open a lot of tabs in Vim, and you can navigate between tabs. So it really has a lot of functionalities that an average editor has. And then you can also like write and save and quit, which allows you to leave the file, right? So it's essential to, and then something about these commands, as you have noticed, is that in the beginning, it has a colon sign, which is something about these commands. It temporarily allows you to enter the command mode. And after you press enter, you will go back to insert, you will go back to normal mode. So if you press any of these commands, you press enter and you will be good to go. And more things about these commands is that you can use WQ instead of W, then Q, so one command, then 2 to save and quit. And if you have edited your current file, it will not let you just do Q. It will throw you a warning and say that you need to save before you quit. But you can just add an exclamation mark at the end of the command to quit without saving. And so if you have a whole lot of tabs open and you want to just like quit everything, you can add A to the end of your commands just to like apply the action to all the files. So not all current IDEs have this function, and Vim allows you to do it very fast. And I can kind of demonstrate how to open new tabs and just navigate between tabs in my screen. But let me see, there were like 7 messages in chat. I mean, this picture, I'm not okay with it. Oh, thank you, Nishan, for coming by. I don't know if you're still here. Oh, there's the Gary's Guides to Vim. 1000J, okay. Okay, so coming forward to my demonstration, so I currently have the scanning demo.java, which is only one tab, right? But I can open a new tab, and then I can also open the visual mode demo.txt in a different tab, and then I can also open a new tab. Then what else do I? Modes, intro to modes.txt. So I can open like as many tabs as I want, and I can navigate through the tabs like tab P, tab N, tab 0, tab N, to navigate between the tabs. And if I just want to quit everything, I can just press like QA, and I don't have to manually close any tab. Like just one command can handle everything for me. Okay, back to the slides. And there's also other cool things that you can do in Vim. So how many of you have had problems with indenting your code? And like, it kind of sometimes a nightmare, right? I have to read the code that's like poorly indented, but the equals command kind of allows you to format indent your code, but just like deleting and yanking, we need to specify the scale to the editor so it knows what to do. And doing gg equals to g can indent your entire file. Does anyone know why? Okay, so as we have went over in the previous slides, gg will navigate you to the beginning of the file, and the G stands for the end of the file, right? So after entering gg, your cursor will be at the beginning of the file, and the equals to g is basically telling Vim to indent your code until the end of the file. So from the cursor all the way to the end of the file, which basically is your whole file. So it will indent everything. And then you can also search and replace in Vim. And there's one command to search for occurrences of the specified pattern. This pattern can be strings, but it can also be like regex patterns. And then as the same, like similar to the W and Q commands, you will need to press enter to start going to all the matches. And you can scroll up and down by pressing N to the next match, or shift plus N, which is capital N, to go to the previous match. And this is a very OP command. So if you want to change something that's like, change something in your code that's like, change every occurrence, you can change everything that has pattern 1 to everything that has pattern 2 with just this one singular command. It's very nice. So we have went over enough things for you to be able to have a little practice. So what you're gonna do is to go to this link. I will copy and paste the link in chat. So repo.it is a very cool tool that lets you take other people's code and play around with it. And we will be using, and it also allows Vim extension, which makes it possible for you to practice Vim on there. Here's the link. And then once you visit the link, you should be able to see this whole code and go to settings. Go to settings, and then under the keybind section, change it to Vim so that you can see there's like this normal mode on the bottom that indicates that you have successfully entered Vim mode. It gives you a few minutes, a few seconds to go onto this page, and I will explain your task. So your tasks are copying the code on lines 5 and 6, then paste them under line 6. So these two lines, paste them under line 6. Delete the code on line 4. Search for all occurrences the word ward and replace with your name. Then navigate to the last character of line 2 and jump to the end of the code block. So if you want to see what we went over, the slides are at acmurl.com/vim-slides. And okay, yeah. I will give you 5 minutes to complete this challenge. Feel free to reference the previous slides, and I will play some Jeopardy music. for you to enjoy. Continue screen recording while I go through the solutions. So the first task that we have to do is to yank lines 5 and 6 and paste it under line 6, right? But, well, I can technically click on it, but that's cheating, so I will just do the Vim way. And we want to go down to line 5, right? So we can just press 4J to go down from line 1 to line 5. And then right on line 5, because we want to yank 2 lines, the command that we want to enter is 2YY. And then we go down one line by pressing J, and then we press P on line 6. So we can easily paste these 2 lines under line 6. And actually, we can also do like paste multiple times. So if we go back to line 6 and we do like 6P, then these 2 lines will paste for 6 times. So just a cool trick that you know. And we want to go back to line 4. So we can do 3K. And the command for deleting is D, which if you want to delete a line, you can just do DD. And this annoying line 4 has been gone. So we want to go to line 2 and the last character of line 2, which is this bracket over here. So 2GG will navigate us to line 2, and pressing $ will allow us to go to the last character of this line. And then we have gone over the command to go to the matching bracket, which is shift plus 5, which is the percent mark. And there we go. We have jumped 20 lines. So that's it about normal mode. But you might have noticed something. Oh, searching and replacing, huh? Haven't gone over that yet. So searching and replacing is you need to enter. So the syntax is %s, then pattern 1, right? World, which I misspelled over here. I really apologize. And then I want to replace it with Maggie, and then the end is G. Give me 1 second to figure out what's going on. Okay, so it's calling instead of slash as world, misspelled word with Maggie, and then G. So I replace the word with Maggie. But there's one problem here. So we only have one occurrence of word which we changed to Maggie, but what if we have multiple occurrences of word and we just want to change one of them? We don't want to change all words to Maggie. That can be like really inconvenient. And we also just type a very long command just for that. And then there's actually another way to do that. So the C command, which stands for change, is a command that allows us to change sections of a code. It also supports the number plus command plus scale format, just like deleting and yanking. So what we're gonna do right here is we can navigate to the first letter. So it's not letting me. Okay, first letter of our name, which is right here. The reason why we have to do it on the first letter is if you go on the second letter and you press the CW, which is the command for changing word, because C is changed and W stands for word, it will just change the remainder of the word, which is not what we want. And so we press U to undo the change, and then we press CW to remove the word, and boom, my name's gone. And I will choose a lucky participant's name to replace my name, William. So as you can see, the C command just allowed me to somehow type on the document, and which is something that we couldn't have done in the command mode previously. And that is actually something that allows us to enter the insert mode, and insert mode is the thing that allows us to type into the actual file. Time to actually type, gamers. And so what we just went over is using the C command to enter the insert mode, but there are also other ways of doing this as well. So if you want to insert right on the cursor, which is one of the most common ways of entering insert mode, is just pressing I. And then you can also use like any of these commands, like capital I, like little a, capital A, to insert at all of these different places, which, well, the purpose of having this many commands is to allow some good flexibility. And so you can insert whenever you want without having to navigate and go through the hassle of going through a specific section of the code. And once you are in your insert mode, if you want to go back to the command mode, you can always press escape, just as you do in visual mode. Not that much to go over, but if you guys want, I can kind of showcase one example. So just so you can see it in action, Vim scanning demo. Now, actually, I will do like intro to modes.txt. So if I press I here, it will just insert on the cursor. If I press capital A, it will go to the end of line, then insert. If I press O, it will open a line under and then insert. And that's basically it for insert mode. Not that much to go over, but it's very essential because, well, in order to edit your code, you gotta type. Okay, so the last mode that we will go over after insert mode is the visual mode. And then visual mode is actually your best friend in formatting files and moving one chunk of code to the other. So there are actually 3 versions of visual code, and then we can enter these 3 versions of visual mode using different commands, and they all have different purposes, and they can help you accomplish a variety of tasks depending on the mode. So there are 3 distinct versions called character mode, which is entered with lowercase v, which allows it to select parts of the current line, and doesn't work with multiple lines though, because it will just like stop at the end of line. And the way that you select the chunk to select on the chunk of text is you place your cursor at the beginning of the text that you want to select, and then you use your HJKL or like arrow keys or commands like W to move forward, move back, move down, move forward a word, etc. And then you have the line mode, which is entered with capital V from normal mode, which allows you to select multiple lines, but they must be whole lines. And then the last one is block mode, which is entered with Control plus V, and allows you to select multiple columns of multiple lines. Again, I will be demonstrating some of these over here, and I will just open :E is opening in the current window. So visual mode demo.txt. W. You see, if I press Q without saving, it will not let me. Visual mode demo.txt. So right here, we have the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song lyrics. And then just to, okay. Well, a few things that we notice here. This line is not at the correct place. It's supposed to be here. And then it's so sad. We only have 2 SpongeBob SquarePants. We're supposed to have 4 lines, right? So we're gonna use character mode and line mode to fix these. So go to the beginning file with GG, and then navigate your cursor to here, which is the beginning, the point where we want to select. So we press V, and you can see on the bottom that we have entered the visual mode. From here, we need to select, which we can use these arrow keys or like L to move right, but that's not very efficient. The other way we can do is 4W and then WW. So we can just select whole words. So we can choose to press D to delete this chunk of text. And then I messed up. So we press V, and when we select this chunk of text, press D, and then we go down to where we want to place it, press P. There we go. It is at the correct place. So next thing we want to do is to replicate these last 2 lines, which we cannot do with the character mode, because if we try to just select more than 1 line, I'm pressing the L key right now, it's not letting me. So we need the line mode in order to do this. And in order to enter line mode, we need to press Shift plus V. And you can see on the bottom, visual line, which means that we are entering the line mode of the visual mode. And we can press the arrow keys or just press J in order to move down and press Y, which moves us back to the normal mode. And we just can navigate back and P. This is very OP. It can just allow you to select the chunks of your text. And then even I can demonstrate the block mode as well. I can press Control plus V to enter a visual block at the bottom. So the way visual block works is that you can select multiple columns and multiple lines. So if you, for example, have accidentally indented your code for too much, but it's like a lot of lines, you don't want to go to insert mode and manually deleting these columns, you can just select like the first 2 characters of like each line and then press D. That's it. That's like very simple, fast way to fix your indenting and everything else that's probably that you can imagine to fix with the columns in your code. So some examples that we just went over is like moving a sentence that's on the same line, which using character mode, since the selection will be no more than a line. And then went over moving the cursor to the beginning of the sentence and press V. And basically what I just went over in the last exercise. And then if you want to try moving multiple lines by yourself, try moving multiple lines in general, you're going to use line mode because character mode will not allow you to do this. You can technically also use the block mode, but it's less efficient because you have to select all the columns first. And just select these 2 lines, press Y, and then press P. All right. So we're supposed to have a Kahoot exercise over here. Well, I don't know where the slides went, but we're going to have some fun with Kahoot, and then we will go over some additional resources that can help you learn more about Vim and interact more with Vim. I'm going to pause the recording right here. And actually, I will keep the recording on so that the people watching asynchronously can also see the answer to the quiz that I made. All right, so I will start the game. Classic. All right, go to Kahoot.it, enter the pin, and join the game and have fun. Bofa. Vimmer. We have 8 people in the room, so that's 7 people minus me. Oh, and I think one of them is AFK. They have told me in advance, so I think we're good to start. Does anyone still need to join the game? All right, I will start the game. Welcome to the Vim Workshop quiz, gamers. Oh yes, okay, so everyone knows that Vim is a text editor, which is great. Go to the rules number 1. Tony is in the lead. People need to catch up. I actually sometimes secretly wish that there was a unicorn world in Vim. Like, it will make everything so much prettier. Now Tris is in the lead. People catch up. So insert mode, remember the slides. Okay, yeah, so Z actually Let me try what Z does in Vim because I haven't physically tried it. So let's go to scanning demo because it's such a big and scary file. And now press capital Z. It returns me to the terminal, which is very interesting. Bofa is now in the lead. I wonder if Bofa likes drinking boba, but that's a question for another day. So GG, DG in normal mode, what does it do? Yeah, okay. So GG equals G is the command that indents all lines, but since D stands for delete, it will delete everything in the current file, which it doesn't give you 1 year free trial Vim Premium. Please, guys, don't do it. You will definitely regret entering this command. Like, don't let people troll you, okay? Alistair's in the lead. Okay, yeah. So as we have said, DD, the delete command is just not deleting. It actually does the cutting command. So it just cuts this line and then pastes it under, which is basically what option 4 is saying. Syntaxes. Remember syntaxes, kids? Oh no, okay. So remember the syntax is the number plus action plus scale or like unit. So number goes first, which is 2, because you want to delete 2 words. The D is the action, and W stands for words. And deleting 2 words is more similar to the Vim, like human language, but Vim sadly does not understand it. Will is in the lead now. Or, I mean, well, technically restarting your computer and reopening Vim does let you go into normal mode again, but I highly do not recommend it. Vimer is in the lead now. Must be very good at Vim. Remember visual mode that we just went over? Good job, guys. I'm very proud of you. Vimer is still in the lead. So which mode cannot accomplish that at all? Okay, I will explain this question. So if you wanna delete the first 2 characters of every line in the file, so character mode, you can technically do it, but you will just have to repeat it for 1 trillion times for every single line. And then block mode, you can definitely do this because, well, it's the answer to the last question. And you can also use the insert mode to do it, but just like insert, then you go to the second character of every line, then press delete, then you move to the next line. It's highly inefficient, but you can technically do it. The thing about line mode is that you have to select whole lines. So unless your file is consisted of lines that's only 2 characters, line mode cannot help you accomplish that. Bofa is back in the lead. Okay, yes. So WQA, so saving, quitting, applying to all files. Ooh is cute, but it's not the correct answer. Oh, and Vimer is back in the lead again. Yes. So Vim wouldn't allow you to press Q when you have unsafe changes. And well, I just messed up in my editor, so all of you just saw that, and you hopefully that helps you learn about this question. There is no free trial of Vim Premium, so don't worry about it. Okay. Last question. I'm so proud of everyone. Okay, yeah, everyone got that right. So the exclamation mark allows you to override Will in the third place, Bowfly in the second place, and the first place we have Vimmer! Congratulations, everybody! Did very good on the quiz. And we'll go back to the slides because I still need to introduce you to additional resources. Oh, I need to close the tab because the music's playing, huh? Page, shall present. Okay, so you guys showed very good command of the resource I went over today, which I'm so happy about. And so if you all want to learn more about Vim and interact more with Vim, we need to first introduce Vim RC. So Vim RC is a great tool to help customize your Vim. So the Vim that I have right now is actually customized. And so I will show you my Vim RC file. So Vim RC is basically a file that lets you configure your Vim. And for Mac and Linux, it's located under your home directory /.vimrc. So there's like a lot of commands that you can do to customize your Vim. So set number allows you to see the line numbers. Syntax on allows syntax highlighting, and tab stop 4 is basically allowing you to set your tab to 4 spaces. I will show you what it looks like without all the customizations. So DG, which we just went over in the Kahoot, WQ, and then we again open the scanning demo.java. It looks so depressing now. It has no color whatsoever. It does not have line numbers, and the indenting is like way too big to be comfortable watching. So VimRC is a very good tool to help you customize your Vim. And then once again, the directory of VimRC is under home/.vimrc. You will need to create it by yourself, but Vim will be able to read it if you are in a Unix or Mac OS operating system. So there's an example of VimRC file, and if you click on that link, I believe it has a ton of commands that you can choose from that I hate ads. And then, yeah, a lot of things that can help you customize your Vim, not just like the 3 commands that I just showed you. Then you can also download Vim, which is not necessary for Unix or Mac OS users because Vim is already pre-installed on Unix and Mac OS. And for other operating systems, Vim is downloadable at this link. And there's a Vim cheat sheet. Well, back in the good old Rick Ward days, which is a professor that retired like a few years ago, he used to give us this whole cheat sheet of commands that can help you excel in Vim, okay? Just like, remember this sheet and you will be a god in Vim at no time. You'll be so OP at editing your code, and everybody will just say, wow, you're so good. Also, there's a Vim tutor that comes with the Vim installation. So for Unix and Mac OS, you can just type Vim tutor in the terminal. So Vim tutor, and then it's just like a tutorial to help you go over it. And for Windows, you can press the Windows key, then search for Vim tutor. It should show up as a application. And that's it for today's content. We have 9 people that stayed till the end. Thank you all for coming and staying. And I will see if there's any question in the chat because I see 6 new messages. Well, that had to be 2 for obvious reasons. System for get a Windows subsystem for Linux as well. Right, that's how you reboot. Yes, this is how I reboot. Yeah, that's it for today's workshop content. I will play some outro music, and yeah, so you guys feel free to come and hang out more, and otherwise, feel free to leave. Oh, hi. Boomer.
Hiya, Maggie.
Oh, dude, I haven't stopped recording now.